The peaceful tranquility of Ballyvaughan was interrupted for a weekend once again. The rocks and gullies of the Burren reverberated to the sounds of F1 style engines as this year's Connaught competition engines, Hillclimb and Sprint Championship for the Frank Keane Trophy, was passing through again. The Clare and Galway motor clubs had collaborated this year to arrange a fabulous double-header weekend on two of the great Irish Hillclimb venues, Corkscrew and Ballyalbin. Paul O'Connell was otherwise engaged for the weekend, but multiple former championship winner Frank Burns and local expert, and indeed the winner of Clare's Ballyryan Hillclimb in 2010, Sylvie Mullins, were on hand to give championship leader Simon McKinley a good run for his money. Sylvie's car on Saturday the 16th of April was a demonstration of what Irish hillclimbing could be like if all hills were as smooth as the Corkscrew. His first time was enough to win the event, and he improved further on runs 2 and 3, setting a new record of 48.39 seconds for him. McKinley's best was just over 0.6 of a second slower, enough for maximum points of the championship registered drivers and first in Class 7. Frank Burns' first time was his best on the day, in his strikingly coloured V8 Pilbeam. Joe Courtney was another fast local, 4th overall and first in Class 6 in his OMS. Brendan Keane made 4th in Class 7, 5th overall in the Swallow R14. John Byrne survived an understeering moment to claim 2nd in Class 6 and 6th overall. Dermot Nolan shared his Reynard once again, this time with championship sponsor Phil Price. Dermot was 7th overall, and Dr. Phil, as he's become known for fixing so many championship winning engines, made the top 10. They were split by Adrian McCallion, who was 3rd in Class 6, and Rory Stevens on his way to win Class 3B. Retired air traffic controller Donald Griffin displayed some serious firepower with the F3000 Reynard he's developed. There could be no doubting that Brendan Harper's brakes were working this weekend in his Delta T81 when he locked up on run 1. John Mahon, in his DJ, wasn't quite on song over the weekend with a faulty injector, but was 4th in Class 6. Deirdre Delaney was next in the class, an excellent 18th overall, but her confidence took a knock when the clutch jammed and she nosed into an unforgiving Burren wall on run 4. Éanna Carroll, 2nd in 3B, just couldn't get the power down on Corkscrew in the Turbo Civic. Trevor Cullen, 3rd in 3B, was the first of several sideways rear-wheel drive saloons, putting on a great show, beating Tom Flaherty, winner of Class 11, in a Mark II, by just 0.03 of a second. Mini expert Ray Cunningham continues to be unbeatable in Class 1, but spent every spare minute of the day repairing a clutch problem that Elaine O'Reilly arrived with in her Mini.
You started?
Just pull the flywheel off it, pull the flywheel off the end of it and just pull out the primary gear, free out the primary gear.
Nigel Bryson made a welcome return to the championship in his distinctive Uno and finished 2nd in the class. Stephen O'Shea gained an excellent 3rd in the category, his first time competing in this discipline. Trish Daly had to make the best of just one run after a throttle cable snapped on the Fiesta, and Tom Kennelly was just behind her in a Punto. Ian Quinn's rear engine Mini was 1st in Class 3A on Saturday, but disaster struck him when the bonnet flew up and he crashed, unharmed, but did damage to the car on the practice run for Sunday's Hill. David Szymanski was 2nd in Class 3A in a Caterham Super 7, and John Whitley was 3rd in the Golf GTI. Colm Dunphy must be learning while working for Frank Burns, as he won Class 5 in a Formula Ford from end to burn in a Formula V. Siobhan McCann was 3rd and 30th overall, also in a V, as was her father, Joe McCann, less than a second behind her. Rally driver Patrick Haughey is becoming a Hillclimb regular in his Mark II and showcased an effective rally-style approach to win Class 8. John O'Sullivan was next in the class in a Citroen C2. Georgie Bell was delighted with a 3rd place in Class 8 on his first Hillclimb in a Civic. Joe Baker in a similar car was only 0.08 behind him. Keith O'Halloran drifted his way to 5th in a rear-wheel drive Starlet. He was followed by Jarlath Keneally, Honda Civic, Shane O'Donoghue, Ford Escort, Michael Keneally Honda Civic, Pat Flaherty Honda Civic, and Declan Courtney Peugeot 106. Tommy Murphy was 22nd overall and first in Class 2. John Bradley's perseverance with hand controls is beginning to pay off, as he was second in Class 2. John Courtney and Aidan Courtney shared an Uno for third and fourth place respectively, and Ray O'Neill followed them home in a similar car. Pat Murphy and Jack Deegan could only be split by 1300ths of a second in their 205s. It was this dynamic duo that got Trish Daly going again. Tony Tuttle was third in their class in a Ford Escort, and Niall O'Sullivan survived a fire on his twin cam to finish fourth. John Farrell, 28th overall, was the fastest historic on scratch time in his Mark I Escort, while Frank Nuttall was fastest on handicap in the Graham. Matt Dunn in the MG Midget was third, followed by Vinnie O'Reilly and then John Farrell on that system. And Trevor Shannon and Pat Shannon shared an Austin Healey Sprite. Ballyalbin was next.